everyone. I hope you're having a good Friday. I wanted to add a few more pieces to my February 2023 makes video, but I just had to call it. It's done. The good news is I'm fired up for next month. I don't have a whole lot to offer you back here. This is what I managed to put together for today's video. And we have a stunning failure in the mix. This was going to be so cute. This is a top. It's a simplicity pattern. I didn't even finish it because I need my head examined thinking that I could pull this off. It's a cute top. It's Simplicity 8883. And the problem is I chose the one with those front flounces, the pink version there. And I thought I have the perfect fabric. It came from fabric.com, RIP, fabric.com. It is a Caroline Constas designer print, these glorious colors. It's a cotton lawn. Obviously you can see that it has a wrong side and the flounces show that. That's the first error. My rolled hems came out beautifully on those flounces. However, when I put this on, well, I look like a clown. I mean, the flounces don't lie down and you see these wrong sides flipping out. It was so bad, and Brad's always really sweet, you know. He's like, wow, wow. And I said, no, I've made a little song for this item. It is sung to the tune of Neil Young's I Am a Child, I Am a Clown, I Dance Around. You can't conceive of the sadness in my frown. If you really want me to, I'll put it on for you, but let's just put it aside for now. Everything else is okay. I was a bit of a grump sewing this month because I had been away from sewing, and I think that if you take a hiatus, it can be a little bit hard to get back in and off the ground again. I did mention that I was going to show you the baby clothes that I sewed. Now I only have a photograph, and I sent this little ensemble to a family friend. The pattern for these pieces, so we have a little dress with a Peter Pan collar, and I put a little bow up there, and then the little short pants, ruffled pantaloons. What are those called? Not the dreaded P word, panties. But, and then I made some long pants. Now, this pattern that I used for these little pieces, and by the way, that is cotton from Hobby Lobby. It's a very cute print. The patterns I used came from Kwik Sew's Sewing for Baby book. And this is an older book. You get master patterns in the back of the book, and you have to trace them because they're printed on both sides. And then you're given instructions in the book. I cleaned my sewing room, so I can't find anything, and I can't find the book. If you want me to return to it and give you my pattern review for these little baby clothes, well, I could do that. But let's get to these makes for today. See what you think, and I'll be right back. To kick things off, we have Simplicity 9139. I love the design of this. Again, it's giving me a little bit of Eileen Fisher vibes, although she's maybe not even that involved in her designs, but I just love it. I love how they did it out of linen. I chose to make the top, and it is paired with my ubiquitous 3807 Kwik Sew skinny pants. So here is what we've got. Now, I gotta tell you These pants are a rather unique fabric. They are, and I'm not even kidding, they are stretch velvet corduroy. Stretch velvet corduroy. They're super soft, and of course this is a very close fitting pattern. I have never put the zips in. There are little zips that go down by the ankles, so if you don't put them in, you need to leave an opening so that you can get your feet in there. So those are the pants. My machine absolutely hated this fabric. I even broke out my brand new velvet foot, and my machine was having none of it. So I constructed them predominantly on the serger, and for hemming the little, the hems and then this little open part, I just did a zigzag stitch on the edge. Oh my gosh. And it looks a little ragged, but I'm like, well, I'm just gonna call it, you know, that's the design of them. They're very unusual fabric, and they're in this kind of muted brownish salmon color. For the top, I will definitely return to this pattern. I love how it came out. Now, I made mine out of a fairly substantial faded dusty pink crepe. So this fabric does not hold a press, and that made things a little bit tricky. I imagine that if you made it out of linen or some kind of cotton, it would just go together in a snap. We have facings down here at the hems and splits on the side. 3 little buttons are sewn on there just for, you know, interest. They don't do anything. And a dropped shoulder, shorter sleeves, and there is that top. I love it. You already know I love these pants, so this outfit was a winner. All right, I'll do a quick change. I'll be right back. This is Burda 5975. And you know, Burda, I love the super easies with 1 dot up there. I'm drawn to them because, you know, Burda is a German brand, and some of their instructions, if they're not really intuitive, can be a little tricky. This dress comes in 2 different lengths and maybe 3. Yeah, I think there's mini, mid, and longer. So I went with mid. I was realizing as I put my projects together this month that I was using a lot of fabric from fabric.com. It just kind of worked out that way. So this is a Rayon challis made by Telio that came from fabric.com that I chose for this dress. You pull this dress over your head. We have front bust darts. We have cuffs, okay? So the sleeve is gathered into a cuff. And then we have this cool pleat on the front and the back. The only thing that would make this pattern a 10 is if I had put side seam pockets in it, but I didn't. So that's just, you know, if your fabric is this bold, well, then you need a pretty simple design to show it off. So I do like this pattern. I didn't have any troubles with it. You have facings here at the neckline, and I just did a narrow hem after serging the fabric, and there you go. If I make it again, I am definitely going to put those pockets in the side seams. Burda 5975, a lot of return for your investment. I thought the cuffs were a really nice touch to elevate the dress just a bit. And of course, I do love the fabric. You know, speaking of fabric.com's fabric closing, fabric shop closing, Fabric Mart did get some of their fabric, and I have seen some of their rayons come up for sale the other day, or maybe even today. Fabric Mart had their challis for, had their challis for $6 and $6.80, and I recognized some of these from fabric.com. So that's just a little tip if you want to check them out. They got a bunch of Liberty Tana lawns, but those are really pretty expensive. Okay, moving right along, hang on. My top is Kwik Sew 2804, an old out-of-print pattern, basic knit top with a nice boat neck. I added sleeves and did the open neckline of view A there, I believe. And my skirt is New Look 6722. It's a really beautiful skirt, but I will warn you, it's got a lot going on. So if you've never sewed a skirt before, this might not be the best one to reach for if you're a new sewer, and I'll tell you why. Here is what we have ended up with. Now, if you know me at all, I never wear things tucked in. I feel like I look terrible in them. But I'm trying to work on having better posture, and I thought, you know, I'm just gonna tuck this one in because the skirt has this really pretty tie up here. It is an authentic wrap skirt, meaning if you just open it up, you wrap it around you. And the reason I say that it's a bit more than you might think is because you have huge pieces to cut out, number one. They want you to cut them single layer. I am a non-single layer cutter. I don't do it. If there's anything in my power not to do it, I won't do it. So this big piece here in the front is really huge. And like I say, they want you to cut it single layer. It does have a waistband. In the back is elastic. So that gives you a really nice fit, but you're gonna have elasticized in the back. Then it will come around to straight in the front. We have side pockets. They want you to sew buttonholes in the waistband to secure it. Now I chose not to do that and just did snaps instead, okay? So that's gonna be up to you, but you could certainly do buttonholes. And it's just a really, dare I say, a very feminine skirt. I thought it looked so pretty on the model. My notes are that some of the notches are off. The pocket notches were off, some of the waistband notches were off, but that's a minor complaint. You can get by, you can get past that for sure. So this fabric, once again, came from fabric.com for the skirt. They called it a Rayon poplin, but as I was sewing it very up close and under my machine's light, I could see that it has some nylon in it too. It's very, very light, and you know, it's just got a really pretty drape to it. The top is a rib knit, a cotton rib knit, and of course, Kwik Sew. I'm obsessed with them, and this was an easy top, so nothing but good things to say about that. I have one more outfit to show you, and then we'll be done. Hang on. Here's my last offering for today. We have a top by New Look 6673. I loved the neckline on this one, and it does have some princess seamings. Now, I'm not a huge princess seam fan, but I just thought this had a good look to it. I paired it with Kwik Sew 2840. When I sewed these pants, I was very discouraged, and I thought, well, they're a complete loss. And then I put them on. What do you know? I loved them. So here is what we have. I love a cropped, slightly cropped pant. The fabric for this top is a Rayon challis. It came from Vogue Fabrics, and it's a really pretty print. You can see those kind of muted colors, and I love anything with mauve in it. This was not the greatest quality rayon challis that I've ever worked with. So, you know, who cares? I mean, I got it a couple years back. I'm sure it's long out of stock. I put this pale pink, it's not showing up as pale pink, but that's what it is. I put that trim around the bottom, and it wants to fan out a little bit on the sides. However, the top is an A-line, or the skirt of the top is an A-line. So that's fine, it just sort of follows the cut of the pattern. The pants, let's see if I can show them to you without embarrassing myself too much. They come up rather high. That's just sort of what, well, they show them a little bit lower here. They come up pretty darn high on me. They have pockets. This is a beautiful chocolate brown cotton spandex from Fabric Mart, and they're perfectly comfortable. Now, I was thinking I could size down just a tad if I make them again, but there it is. There is the outfit. I will note that the back of the top, now I think they called for a zipper. I certainly wasn't going to put a zipper in it, but I did a little button and loop opening, and I don't even need that. So that's just FYI. I don't think you have to put the zipper in, but that is what they want. Yes, they want a 20-inch invisible zipper. That's it for today. I will list all these patterns below so that you can reference them if you'd like to. My old out-of-print Kwik Sews, I always buy on eBay. Occasionally I get them on Etsy, but they're always more expensive over there on Etsy. So that's gonna do it today. I'll put this funny clown shirt, I'll put it on in another video. And I heard you loud and clear that you want to look through some more of my 1970s pattern counter books. So I think I'll do Vogue next, and that will be sometime next week if I can get to it. I'm wishing you all the best. I hope you have a great weekend, and I hope that you're sewing and that you like what you're sewing. But you know what? Even if you're working on it and you kind of hate it, you never know until the very end. When you put it on, you might just love it. I hope that's true for you. I'll see you next time, everyone. Bye.